I want to get into it already. Here it is, okay? The point of this series, and you're at the perfect time, and I'm at the perfect time to do this. The point of this series, check this out, is we want you to get it right the first time. We want you to have great relationships. We want you to have a great marriage. And some of you guys are thinking, but Nestor, I'm not even nowhere close to getting married. Well, I know you're not, okay? And hopefully you're not. Hopefully you have plans and stuff that you want to do with your life before you get married. But listen, what I've discovered is that great marriages don't just happen, and we're going to talk about that today. I want you to know that what you're doing right now, is going to determine the kind of marriage you're going to have. I want you to get it right the first time. I don't want you to have to deal with divorce. I don't want you to have to deal with, well, I've had one husband, and now I'm going after the second one, and now I'm going after the third one. Because listen, nowadays, it's very difficult to see a good relationship. It's very difficult. I mean, if I were to tell you, point to me a good marriage, somebody who has a marriage that is an example, a marriage that is positive. Most of us would struggle. Most of us look at our parents and we say, if I'm going to have a marriage like my parents are going to have, I'd rather not get married. And that is why, listen, because people don't have examples of a great marriage, that's why people are divorcing all the time. I don't want you to be one of those people that didn't see it coming. I don't want your life to be defined by, like, didn't your mom tell you that? I mean, didn't you see it coming? What else were you expecting, We don't want you to be that kind of individual, so we want you to get it right. Now, here's the other reason why we're doing this. Because dating, love, sex, and marriage, and relationships are very complicated. They are. They are. You think that love is all you need, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But they're very complicated. And during the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, including today, we're gonna make relationships a little less complicated. And we're going to look at some very core points that are going to help you to take this very complicated thing and make it simple. And some of you are thinking, no, it's not complicated. It's very easy. You just put a romantic song, get in the swing like this, have her look nice. No, it's not difficult. Yes, it is. Okay, if you've dated for more than 2 months, you know relationships are difficult. Now, I'm going to tell you who's going to hate this series. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? This is why I love this series. I can just be honest. I'm going to tell you who's going to hate this series, okay? The people that are going to hate this series are recreational daters or sport daters. Or, in language that you'll understand, hoochies and traps. The pastor's going to hate this series, okay? Now, we're in church, okay? And I don't mean to offend anybody, but I just want to be honest. If you date for a sport, you're going to hate this series. In fact, I'm going to warn you in advance. You probably won't want to come, and although I would advise you to come because your future is in your hands, I would advise you to come. But if you are a recreational dater, if you are a sport dater, you're going to hate this series. Now, why are we doing this series? Because the way you date matters. The way you date matters. What you're doing right now is going to follow you in the future. Okay? People think this. People think that once you get married, once you put on that suit, once you put on that white dress, everything that you did in your past, all the past relationships, all the past experience, just kind of vanish by special osmosis or something, They just kind of disappear. And I want you to know that that is not true. In fact, I want to tell you something. There are no marriage problems. There's single people problems. Because two single people who had problems and issues got into a marriage. And now there's marriage problems that don't really exist. There are more individual problems. And I want you to know this. I know you may be thinking, well, Nestor, I'm only 16, I'm only 18, I'm only 19, I'm far from getting married. I know that. But right now, everything you're doing, the way you date, the way you think about love, the way you relate to relationships, is going to determine the kind of marriage you're going to have. So today, I want to get you started by telling you the one thing. Here's the one thing, okay? Okay, Jesus is the center thing. But today, whether you're a Christian or not, I want to tell you the one thing that no matter how old you are, no matter what sex you are, no matter what your experience is, the one thing you can do that will guarantee you, that will put you in a position where you can have a successful future marriage, where you can have a successful, godly dating life. And I'm going to tell you that in just a minute. Okay? But before we do that, let me come down my excitement. Because I have this really thrills me, because there's nothing like getting this right. And if you get it right, you're going to save yourself so many minutes. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Would you bow your head with me as we pray? Lord, I